Wake up!
Get up
You get out of bed this instant.
and turn it on. Glenn, Angel, and the Flying Dutchman. The Big Show on Kiss 92.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman. And our second guest for today is Christian Ho. Good morning, Christian.
Good morning.
Christian,
Good
of course,
morning.
is a race car driver. And, well, you've been with Campos Racing for a while. Are you going to be with Campos Racing for, when you move on to Formula 3? No, right?
To be honest with you, I can't really say.
Okay.
It'll be announced at the end of the year, so yeah, I can't say right now.
All right. And Christian is number 23.
Nice. So tell us how you started, Christian.
I first started when I was 5 years old, and it actually came from a family trip in Phuket where we had like a family competition, and I think I was second best in the family in terms of lap times, and the track manager there told my father to maybe start me on karting and see how it goes from there, and so that's basically how I started. Yeah.
Right.
If
Your
you-
father, Luel, is in the studio as
Yeah.
well.
You were karting for how many years?
I think a long time. I think
Yeah.
since until 14 years old before I started Formula 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
go.
something that you loved. I mean, as soon as you were 5 years old, you got into that car in Phuket, and you were only five. You know, at
Yep.
5, kids want to do everything. They want to be firemen. They want to be pilots. But did you know for 100% that you wanted to be a race car driver?
Yeah, I mean, half the time I just wanted to skip a bit of school as well. I mean, I think once I stepped into a car, it was really fun and it was really fast. And then at that time, I never really thought about the lap times or how fast I was going. It was just about enjoying how to drive. And I mean, now of course I care a lot more about the lap times and a lot more about winning. So yeah, a very different approach compared to before. Yeah.
But how did you then get into the Sauber kart team?
I think that year in 2020, I finished fourth in the World Championship, and I think I finished third in WSK as well, which is a competition that has been won by Lewis Hamilton, and
Yeah.
a lot of the other F1 guys. So that's how I got into Sauber, and basically I feel like I think I could have won the World Championship that year as well, and I think that would have sweetened everything in
Yeah.
2020. But yeah, it was.
So they
it was not meant to
spotted
be.
you.
Yeah, exactly. During that year,
There were
And
scouts
in 20
around.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
A lot more, yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. And what was competing in the Euro Cup 3 like?
I mean, it's basically like a step up from the F4 Spanish Championship that I did last year, where I finished second. And it's a car which is in between the Formula 3 and the F4. And the car is a lot more downforce. It's much faster on every single track. And it's really, really tough to drive as well physically. So,
Right.
yeah.
If it's that tough to drive physically, what kind of training do you go through to be a driver, to be able to sit in that car and control it?
Now I'm doing a lot more arms compared to before, and the neck training as well was much tougher than in the F4. In the F4 it was just driving, enjoying. Didn't really have to train too much, but now in the Euro Cup 3 Championship, it's insane how much more I have to train. Yeah,
How fast do the cars go in F3?
in F3, I think around 300 with DRS. Yeah.
And why is Formula 3 so significant and so important for you, Christian?
Well, it's because it's 2 steps below Formula 1, and it's officially part of the ladder to Formula 1. I think we participate in 7 of the races on the calendar for next year. And we race on all the tracks that F1 race on. So, and I think for me, it shows that I'm a little bit closer to Formula 1. I think I'm 2 steps away now. compared
Yeah.
to
You are
before.
2
Yeah.
steps away.
Oh my
So
goodness, we're
much
so
nearer.
excited.
We're very excited. And you're only
Exactly.
17. Now, speaking of the Formula 1, it's on this weekend. Who's your favorite driver?
Can you
Are
say?
you allowed to say? Yeah.
I'd say I always supported Ferrari ever since I was young.
Okay.
So I always back Ferrari, no matter, even if your car's not the best, I always say they're gonna win.
Even
So
if the driver's not the best, also you.
the drivers are always the best for
Oh.
Ferrari. Yeah.
Well, you seem to be on the right path because Christian is also managed by Morgan Caron,
Yep.
who used to be the manager of Charles Leclerc.
That's right.
Nice. Great shoes
Right.
to be under, yeah.
What do you think about Hamilton joining Ferrari next season?
I mean, when he was in Mercedes, I really didn't like Hamilton because he was always winning and
Right.
he was always beating Ferrari and Vettel. But I think next year I have to support him. Yeah.
You're gonna have to like him.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the best drivers are at Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope he wins the 8th World Championship next year. Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Christian on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Lost Frequencies featuring Tom Gregory. This is Dive on Kiss 92.
You know, Christian, as a parent, I look at sport and I see these so many talented young people in sport. How do you manage the sport education angle of it? How do you balance that?
I mean, right now I'm taking my A levels for.
Which is no
yeah,
joke.
Yeah, exactly. I think right now I'm taking further math as well, which is not
Ouch.
the easiest. So, yeah, I mean, right now I think I'm much better in managing time than I was before. So now it's slightly easier, and especially next year in F3, where testing is limited and we basically can't drive every single day. So it's much easier for me to balance my studies nowadays compared to before. Yeah.
You said you're going to be driving 7 tracks. Which tracks do you remember?
Monaco, I think Imola, Monza, Australia,
Okay.
Spa, and I think Hungary. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
If you weren't an F1 driver, oh well, I beg your pardon. Maybe I'm preempting it. I said F1, but if you weren't a race car driver right now, an F3 driver, what do you think you'd be doing
I mean,
besides school?
I love watching football
Okay.
and basketball as well, but I have no talent in either of those, and I'm too short to play basketball. So I'd probably say football. I guess I have a higher
Football?
chance than basketball. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, basketball, I don't think I have a chance at all. So.
Is that what you do in your free time? If you get any free time, kick a ball around.
I mean, usually football not my thing. Even though I play with my friends back in the UK, and I always get destroyed. So I think it wouldn't be the best option. Yeah.
Is there a team you support?
Actually, I love Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
There
You're
you
a
go.
good
yeah.
boy.
You're
Look
on the
at his
same
shirt.
side.
Look at his shirt.
Good boy.
He's got,
yeah.
and he's got a tattoo somewhere.
They
I'm
won
sure.
yesterday as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does not have a Liverpool tattoo.
No,
you
not
don't
yet.
have a Liverpool tattoo.
Not
right?
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. I'm preparing something for you.
Yeah, preparing
Christian.
something
Yes,
fun.
yes.
Something fun. So, what do you enjoy doing in your free time when you get some time?
I love to play video games with my friends. To be honest, yeah,
I was
think
going to
that's
say,
pretty
because
common.
you looked at the chair and you're like,
Yeah.
is this a gaming chair? Is it comfortable? Should I get one?
So are those video games racing games?
Actually, to be honest, outside of racing, I never really tried to do racing because I mean, a lot of my teammates, they love to race outside of racing, but for me, I rather take a break and just refresh my mind before
Right.
going into a race because I don't really want to get burnt out by it. Because I mean, I've seen a lot of my teammates, they drive the simulator every single day, and I think it comes to a
Yeah.
point where you get a little bit burnt out, and I feel like every time I want to go into a race, I want to be 100% on it. Yeah.
What is that prep for a race?
During a race weekend, we race on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and on the Tuesday and Wednesday we go to the workshop for me it's in Valencia, and we usually do simulator and gym during that period, and we basically learn the track on the sim and where all the references are, and roughly how you drive the car on that track. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Christian, who are you most impressed with in terms of the up and coming F1 drivers? Who do you think has made the most improvement and perhaps could overtake Max even?
Right now, I probably say there isn't anybody that
Really?
can overtake Max. Yeah, I think Max is really good, but I mean, you never know as well. Racing is really unpredictable, and as long as you put in the work and the mental focus, I think it's possible to beat anybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I mean, I've been really impressed by Norris
Yeah.
and Piastri. McLaren, that seems like they're coming up again.
Yeah, I mean, when I watched the race in Baku, of course I like Ferrari, so it wasn't the best race, I'd say. You know, I was in the gym actually training and watching the race at the same time, and it was pretty funny to see because I was really praying that Ferrari would win, and then it didn't happen. So
Yeah, it's been a while
Well,
for Ferrari, huh?
speaking
It
of
has
winning, what's your prediction for this weekend? What's the podium going to look like?
Ferrari 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. They put an extra car in there.
No, in reality, we'll say Ferrari 1, 2. Who's
Yep.
3?
Probably see one of McLaren's, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if that happens.
It's such an interesting thing because I think at the beginning of the season, no one thought you'd see McLaren on
I
a
know.
podium.
It's like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
the cars become really fast.
From out of nowhere.
And that's the thing about Formula One, right? The fastest car wins.
Wins.
And, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Depends on the engine, which engine they're using. Sometimes a team might use last season's engine
Yeah.
of another team and be really, really quick.
But not to disregard the driver. So how much of it is driver? How much of it is car?
I mean, I think the driver makes a big difference
Yeah.
in terms of setup direction as well. I mean, I think we've seen a lot with Max and Perez where they have quite a big difference in terms of lap times. And I think it all comes down to driving style and how your driving style suits the car.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like last year when I first stepped into the Euro Cup, and my first laps were already quite much stronger than what it was with the F4, just because my driving style suited the car a lot more. And I mean, I think the setup makes a really big difference. Like one bad choice of the setup and you could be disadvantaged for the entire weekend, which I think we've seen a lot in Formula One as well this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember George Russell when he
Yes.
was with Williams? He was so desperate to get into the Mercedes team, and was competing with Bottas at that time, and eventually he did. And I think he's doing pretty well for Mercedes right now. He could be driver one next season. I don't know whether it's been announced. Don't know who's going to be
Yeah.
taking
Kimi,
Hamilton's
I think
place.
Kimi's already been announced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Kimi's
so.
been announced.
Kimi.
Yeah, Kimi's been announced. Yeah.
All right, let's go back on air.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're unaware of the road closures around the Formula One track, do remember to take alternative transport into the marina area. In the meantime, on Keppel Road towards Tuas, after Shenton Way, a vehicle's broken down. Avoid the right lane. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We have with us Christian Ho, who's 17 years old. First time we met Christian, I think he was 12 or 13. I can't really remember, but it's great to have you back in the studio, Christian.
Thank you.
And of course, the wonderful news that you're going to be moving into Formula 3 and hopefully be Singapore's very first Formula 1 driver.
Yep. Thank
Very
you.
excited for you.
Waiting for that to happen.
So, Christian, earlier on the Big Show TV, we were talking about what you do during your downtime, and you said you're a video games type of person. So, are you more like a Call of Duty, Prince of Persia, Final Fantasy type player?
I do like FIFA a lot.
Okay, football.
FIFA, yeah. And NBA as well. I love to play those too, especially with my friends. I think FIFA does get me a little bit angry sometimes, but it depends, it depends, yeah.
So, those are the two sports you said you would
Yep.
maybe go into if
Yep.
you weren't driving a car. Okay, fantastic.
And if I was tall enough, yeah.
If you're-
How often are you on the simulator? Because these days, F1 drivers, they use the simulator quite a bit.
Yep. I'd say I'm probably one of the drivers that doesn't use the simulator as much as others, except for maybe when I'm in the workshop, working on maybe building the model of the sim, or working on my driving style a little bit. But I'd probably say a decent amount, yeah.
When you get on that simulator, how long do you run it at any one time?
Oh, I mean, I think that was one time where I sat in there for like 5 hours straight. Yeah. Was it 4.5 hours?
Wow.
wow,
Yeah.
that's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think a lot of people get tired out from the eyes. I think that's the only limiting factor for me, which is the eyes. It gets really, really tiring just sitting there and just like driving.
Staring.
Yeah, exactly. The screen. So, yeah.
And this is what fascinates me about drivers, especially, Formula 3 drivers, Formula 1 drivers, the focus. Imagine going around the track for 50 laps, let's say, if you just take that number. That focus has to be there. The moment you lose concentration, that's it.
Speaking of which, how different is Formula 3 from Formula 2? What is the difference between the two levels?
Actually, I think the main difference is that the F2 has a little bit, of course, it's faster on the straights. And in general, I think the downforce is a bit higher. And I mean, it's a very different way of driving because in F2 there is the context of pit stops as well, where you have to
right.
manage the tires a bit more. But I'd probably say the main difference is the top speed. Yeah.
Right.
The top speed,
So how is
okay.
it most Formula 3 drivers jump straight into Formula 1?
That never happens actually. It's
No?
always Formula 2 then Formula 1.
There's not a single driver who has jumped from Formula 3 to Formula 1.
I think in the past, yeah, but now they've made like a rule where
You
you
can't
can't
do
do
it.
that
because you
anymore.
have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But even with Kimi only spent one season in Formula 2, didn't he?
yeah, he did one year in FRCA and then 1 year in Formula
Yeah.
2.
Well, let's
so-
hope that happens with you as well.
Yeah,
Just
come on.
one season and then
No,
off
it's
you
been
go.
done. It's
Yeah,
been
man.
done.
Off you go. Speed
Okay.
it up.
All right. I'm going to speed things up right now by doing this.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Okay, so you have 30 seconds, all right, to tell us about your favorite things based on the items that I have right
Alright.
now. Okay? Supposed to be 10, but I think we're going to do a few more. But
Ooh.
you have 30 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready? All right.
Do I have
this is
to
how
list
we
it?
this is how we get to know you a little bit better.
Do I have to list it or
No, I'm going to hit you with like your favorite
dish?
something and
okay,
then
I got
you tell us.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Ready? Start the clock. All right. Favorite hawker dish.
Chicken rice.
Favorite football team.
Liverpool.
All right. Favorite movie of all time.
Probably Rush.
Favorite singer or band.
21 Savage.
Favorite F1 driver.
Schumacher.
Favorite hobby besides driving.
Basketball.
Favorite school subject.
Math.
Favorite sport.
Racing.
Favorite computer game.
2K.
Time.
Nice. Well done. Well
Very
done.
Good.
Good stuff.
What did you say? 2K? What was that again?
NBA 2K.
NBA 2K. Right. Okay.
Wait, you're number 23. Is it because you're a big fan of Michael Jordan?
No, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, I
Bryant.
keep on forgetting
no,
about Kobe.
no, but I can't use 24 because it's a bit of bad luck in Chinese. So yeah. I
Are
mean,
you allowed
actually,
to pick your number though?
I am. Yeah.
You-
Next year I'm actually planning to take 8 if I could.
Oh.
Because it's very good in Chinese.
Yeah, and also it was Kobe Bryant's number, so I'm planning to do that, but depends as well what other people take. So
Okay. Okay. But who gets first dibs on numbers like that?
actually, I'm not sure for next year. Usually, it's the second year drivers that get first dibs, but
Got
I'm
it.
not sure. Yeah,
Usually drivers stick to
All
their
the way,
number,
right?
right?
Yeah.
All the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
mean, it's always been my first choice to get number 8 or
Oh, yeah?
23, but I think the last 2 years I've been a little bit unlucky.
So,
yeah.
like, if Lewis was in Asia, his number is like the worst.
actually, yeah, you're right.
It's 44, right?
Actually, yeah, you're right.
no, but that's
I'm not
actually
sure.
that's a power number.
It's his number. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's what you make of it, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I mean, everyone thinks like, well, 4-4 is not really good, or 4-4-4 is not really good, but it depends.
It's what you
really,
make of it,
really
yeah.
depends. It's not like what we make of it. Even the Chinese,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, because you add up the two numbers, it
Makes 8.
There you go. You know. All right. Thank you very much, Christian, for joining us today.
Yep,
It's
thank you.
it's been a lot of fun, and we wish you all the very best.
Yep, thank you.
We've been speaking to Christian Ho, of course, our future Formula One driver. It is 9:23.
Kiss